Hey guys, it's Grayson. If you're new, welcome, and if you're not new, welcome back. If you have not already, pretty please subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up if you're feeling it, and ring that bell to get notified of when I upload. I upload twice a week, and we are all about makeup on this channel. So if you enjoy beauty and makeup and swatches and unboxings and reviews and looks and all those things, then please stay and hang out here with us. And we are all positivity here as well, so no negativity here, a very safe place. I feel that makeup is for everyone. If you also enjoy even more makeup content and like creative makeup content, I do a lot of stuff over on Instagram, so please follow me over on Instagram as well. I am the eyeshadow queen, so you'll see a lot of eyeshadow palettes here because eyeshadow is probably my favorite part of makeup. And today we have everything but eyes on because we are going to get into another dupe palette situation. I did one of these last week and I actually really liked it, so now I'm kind of on a mission to do like a little bit of a series when I find dupe palettes so I can do dupe videos. So today we are looking at a dupe for the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette. This is actually one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes of all time. This is actually the only Huda palette that I own, and she's beautiful. I had to have her for the price tag. It's hefty. I believe the Mercury Retrograde retails for $67. It's either $65 or $67. I'll make sure I have it on the screen like I always do to correct myself. But so beautiful. I love this palette so much. And I saw it's legitimately an exact dupe from this company. Is called Ucanbe, and this is the Bubble Nebula palette. The packaging is amazing. It's holographic and ooh, could look at it all day. But I have a little eyeshadow protector in here. This is literally an exact dupe for this palette. This palette does not have shade names, but the shades are actually, the last palette we had, it was a dupe, but it wasn't laid out exactly like a dupe. This one is. So we are going to swatch everything in comparison to the Huda palette, and then we are going to do one Huda eye and then one Ucanbe eye. So if you guys enjoy this palette, hopefully this palette will be good. I do have a code with Ucanbe, so you can use the code GRAY15 to get 15% off. So this little guy retails for $15 as opposed to our $65, $67 baby over here. And then with my code, it makes it about $12 and change. So if this palette performs awesome, then you guys can go grab it with my code. So that's very exciting. But if it flops, then it flops. So I guess we gotta see what happens. So let's go ahead and jump into swatches. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just swatch each row off camera and then come back and show you guys so we're not here all day long, and then we will jump into an eye look. I've got some color switch sponges ready to go because I usually try to use the same brush and color switch it so we are getting the same performance hopefully from each palette. So let's jump into swatches and get this party started. Okay guys, here's our top row swatched of both palettes. So this is our Huda side and then our Ucanbe side. So Retrograde and Bubble Nebula. I think I'm gonna, since we've got like brand names and then Mercury Retrograde and Bubble Nebula, I'm just gonna call them Retrograde and Nebula. But high end, not high end. So you can see that like the swatches are all very similar. The thing that I was super surprised with is how soft these shadows are. Like they're softer than the Huda shadows. I was very, very surprised. So the first shade of the Huda palette is Cosmic, and you can see that the dupe is a little bit more pinky than this one. This one's definitely more like a baby pink, and this one's got a little bit deeper of a pink hue. The peach tones are pretty much exactly the same. these purples that have a little bit of a blue shift, you can definitely tell the Huda is more purple. And I will say that the shades in the Dupe palette are a little bit more just metallic, and then the Huda shades are more kind of glittery, like how this shade Nebula in Huda is definitely more glittery, but this shade is beautiful regardless. It's just not as sparkly. And then this is honestly probably the flop swatch for me. I was having trouble getting that out, but this one just didn't do it for me like this one did, but they are still like very similar in tone. And then the teal shade, which is Haze in Huda on the bottom, they're almost identical. So the mattes are like very, very identical. So that is row number 1, and I'm gonna go ahead and swatch row number 2. Okay, here is row number 2. Row number 2, honestly, they're like identical. So you can see like a hair bit of difference in the tones. Like the Huda pink is like a little deeper. This like gold shade is one of my favorite shades of all time. So the fact that that looks pretty much the same. Again, these shades in the Huda just have more of that glittery sparkle, and then the Ucanbe is just more like metallic. So you can just see the difference that way, but like the shade itself, like spot on. These little lilac purples, same. Neutral little kind of brown shade. The Ucanbe is like a tad bit more on that pinky side, but not by much. The like skin tone color, bone color is the same, and then the bottom little shimmer shade, they are like identical, honestly, for those. Like even so, with there's less sparkle in this one for Huda, so that's why these kind of match more to me. But that is row number 2. She's looking very similar. So we have 1 row left to swatch, and then we can go ahead and get into the eyes. Okay, and here we are with the last row. So the last row is where I am seeing the most differences, which you can't super see on camera. By the way, I'm sorry if you guys hear like dogs and stuff. It's Sunday, and so people are out in my apartment complex, and I live right next to the little dog enclosure. So these, ooh, I just jabbed myself in the chin. Hello, how you doing? But these shades, so the first shade, the purple shade, the Dupe is a little darker, and the second shades, like the Huda mattes, are so dry. And like I really do like this palette, but now that I'm like comparing it to another palette, I'm like, wow, these mattes are dry. Like this shade did not want to swatch out of the Huda to save its life, okay? And the mattes in the Ucanbe palette are so soft. They are so nice, just like upon feeling them. So I was like, okay. And then this is the first shade I've seen where like these shades are not the same. Like this is like very red. This is very like pinky bronze. Like those shades are just complete opposites. That's the only shade I've seen that's really like the complete opposite. The sort of, it's like a darker peachy neutral tone. Those are pretty much the same. The golds are relatively close. They look almost exactly the same in the pan, but you can see a little bit more glitter. Like I said, the Huda shades are just more glittery. And then this gold is like a hint deeper. And then the bronzy shades on the bottom are like identical. So it's the most difference I've seen in them, but still not too crazy. So, okay, that's all of our swatches. Let me get these cleaned up, and then we are going to jump over into an eye look and do one palette on one eye and one palette on the other and see how similar they look. So let's go. Okay guys, so my eyes are they've already been primed with my e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer. And both palettes do have mirrors, which by the way, the Ucanbe still has a little mirror protector so we could have a peeling moment. But both palettes have a mirror, so I've got this one in my hand already, so I'm just going to use the mirror in the palette. This is a very clear mirror in this super duper cheap palette. I really do like the packaging of this palette. I just do. But I'm going to take, I think I'm going to take this shade in each palette. It's that like neutrally pinky sort of tone. This holographic packaging though, maybe I might be better off holding this one because it's not going to have so much reflection. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to take the shade right there in that second row and start that as my all over lid shade for both eyes. And I'm going to just dip in, do one eye. I think we're going to do Huda on this eye and Ucanbe on the left eye. And I'm just gonna color switch and go into the other one, blah, blah, blah. So let's go. Okay, so right off the bat, we can see that the Ucanbe shade is more pink than the Huda shade. They're not too far off, but this one's just a little bit more pink. So for my next shade, I'm going to go into the more peachy tones that are in the bottom row, and I'm just going to start to deepen up my outer corner crease area with those shades, starting with our Huda eye. This is the hardest part, is like remembering to switch everything and switch eyes, but we gonna keep track. Okay, so again, the Ucanbe palette definitely just leans more pink, but it's nothing that's too crazy. Like, I think it's pretty. It's just definitely like more pinky toned, but on camera you can like barely tell the difference. I can tell more of a difference in person. Like, there's definitely more orange in this eye. So we're just gonna keep on going. The next color I'm gonna dip into, I want to get into this shade in each palette, but this was so dry when I went to swatch it. I didn't remember this color being like that, but I haven't used this palette in a while. So I don't know, but I really do want to get into that shade and put it into the outer corner. Maybe we'll start off with some of this shade first to help pink up this eye a little bit more. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start with this shade first and add that into the outer corner area, and then we'll move into this shade here. So that definitely got our eyes matching a little bit more. The pigment is not picking up on camera. I feel like I've been having a really big issue with the overcast like weather that we've been having. I need to get some like blackout curtains for this window so I can really manipulate my lighting. But we're just a very like pink eye today, which let's not go there because people are like, oh, pink makes you look sick. No, but I like a baby pink eyeshadow look, okay? So, boo. But we're gonna go into the more, it's a kind of a deep kind of purpley, burgundy kind of shade, like a berry shade. There we go, very thin. We know how to describe shades, come on now. But I'm gonna go into the outer corner lower lash area with those shades from each palette and see how that goes. Yes, I really like that shade from the Ucanbe palette way more than the Huda palette. It's definitely just more dry in the Huda palette. And then the next shade that I'm going to go into is going to be the dark purple, right in the outer corner, just for our last deepening shade. I'm very much a like levels to my eye look kind of person. So it's going to be our last little matte shade that we're going in with, I think. We might put a matte on the lid, I lied, but last outer corner shade. Okay, so the Ucanbe, like that purple's definitely more pretty in there. I'm gonna try to match it up a little better on the Huda side, but honestly, the Huda is just way more dry. It just is. Like, I don't know how else to interpret it. And when I'm taking the fluffy brush, it doesn't have anything extra on it. That's why I'm just going back and forth with that, because I'm just blending out my edges. But I feel like the Ucanbe, that purple was way better in there, in my opinion. and this palette is astronomically cheaper. So there's that. But let's go ahead and get into our inner lid business. So I'm going to take a little bit of a flatter brush. It's a little bit fluffy, but a little bit flat. And I'm going to go into the little lilac shades and just kind of lay that down as a base on the lid for the shimmers. I like to just kind of have a, how would you say, like a dusting of color. So we're just going to hit that from both palettes. They do look really similar, but I still like the formula and the Ucanbe better on the mattes. I just do. So crazy. So I think what I want to do is go in with the, maybe, are we thinking, yeah, we're going to go in with the pinks in the top corners. That's what we're going to do. And then we're going to, I always like to have a color to kind of mesh into the outer portion, which I'm having a hard time picking something in this palette. So we might just do our pinks, see how that goes. So let's start with the Huda eye. Okay, so the Ucanbe is definitely a little bit more pink, which we knew when we swatched, but it's also brighter, and I'm like digging into the Huda palette and like building it up, and it's not as bright. We see that? I mean, you can't deny the performance, you know what I mean? It's there. It's definitely there. So I decided, kind of upon thought, I'm going to take a little bit of the like purple shades in each of the palettes, and so this one goes on this eye. I'm using that to kind of mesh everything over, because we kind of want to bring everything out into the outer, and I did the like wrong fingers for the wrong eyes, but we are just switching it up. So that gives us that purple shade in there, and then I'm gonna just take a brush with a little bit of our burgundy-ish berry shade. That's what we said, berry shade. That's what we decided, right? And we're just gonna kind of blend everything together because we want everything to be nice and seamless. But now we have that kind of pinky purpley shift. That's really pretty, actually. Like it, like it. Both of those shades on the eye look pretty similar, even though one looked a little bit more glittery in the swatch. And then I'm going to take the like whiter shades in the palette. Those were pretty identical. I'm going to use that as an inner corner highlight today. So yeah, those inner corner highlights came out really pretty. I think the eyes look freaking pretty identical. Like the slightest difference is the like pink on the inner corner of this, but like I don't think anybody would know, like if I didn't tell them I was wearing different palettes. So now that the eyeshadow is on, I'm gonna fill in my brows, and I'm just gonna do mascara today because I am going over to my family's house, so I'm not gonna go lashes today. I'm just gonna go mascara, but I'm gonna get everything finished up, and then we're gonna come back on our final thoughts. Okay guys, so yeah, sorry, I just bumped the table, I think, but waste of money. That's literally, I'm like, wow, did I waste my money? Because I love this palette so much, and I've always loved this palette since I got it, and then now I'm like, oh, a waste? Like $13 with my code, that is, with my code. Make sure if you guys want to go grab this, code GRAY15 on Ucanbe Makeup. I will link it in the description, so make sure you save as much coin as you can. Don't go buy this because she's pretty, yes, packaging, pretty, and Yeah, but like you're paying for the name on this one, dude, because like hello, Huda eye, Bubble Nebula eye. Can you see a real difference? Because I can't, and I kind of like this eye better. I'm like, guys, just, I don't know what else to say. Go check out Ucanbe. They have other dupe palettes as well. So if there's a Huda palette, I know they have other Huda palettes or other palettes. So if there's palettes that you've wanted to try, but it's just way too expensive, I'm assuming that other palettes from Ucanbe are gonna kill it, because this one did. So maybe I'll be testing more of these out, obviously, in the future. But okay, winner, chicken dinner. Goodbye, ma'am. Hello, how you doing? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you guys have tried any of the Ucanbe palettes, if you have any dupes that you would like me to check out, I would love to hear what y'all have for me. So put everything down in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love you guys so much. I'm gonna head out of here. I really like this eye look today. I actually like this eye better. I really do. So I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.